Hello everyone. Today's topics is intrauterine devices, which is included in your unit 5. It is the second part of unit 5. The topics which is included in this particular chapter, that is interaction, advantages, disadvantages, development of intrauterine devices and their applications. So first of all, we start with the definitions or what is uterine device, intrauterine device. Basically, this is a small object or devices usually used for prevention of pregnancy that is inserted through the cervix and placed in the uterus. So usually it is a plastic frame flexible small devices. Okay, as you see in this pictures, the T-shaped IUD, this intrauterine device is shortly termed as IUD, and you can see here some hormone IUD. So basically it is used for contraceptions or used as a contraceptives devices. So it may or may not be medicated. Okay, it is specially designed for female uterus. That's why this device is known as intrauterine devices. You may say basically these devices are two types, that is medicated IUSD and also the non-medicated IUSD. So in case of medicated IUDs are those IUDs that are capable of delivering pharmacologically active anti-inflammatory agents, basically used as a anti-inflammatory drugs through these devices. And in case of non-medicated IUDs, exerts its contraceptive actions by producing a sterile anti-inflammatory response in the endometriums by its medical interactions. So it is a very popular device. Approximately 100 million women worldwide currently use the IUDs as the methods of choice for contraceptions. There are mainly two classes of medicated IUDs are available. One of is copper bearing IUD and progesterone releasing IUD. Because of its effectiveness, its use worldwide. So its effectiveness is it is effective in 99.2 to 99.9% cases as a birth control devices. So they have some very much advantages as well as some disadvantages. We will discuss, obviously we will discuss about the advantages and disadvantages in elaborately after some times. So here you can see they do not have they do not protect against the STD, that is the sexually transmitted disease, including HIV, AIDS. So basically this is a disadvantages, or you may say that this is a no, it is not the disadvantages. It is a insufficiency for a particular devices, right? So best time for insert the IUDs. It is perfect time. The menstrual after menstrual periods is the perfect times for inserting the IUDs or intrauterine devices. So because during the menstrual periods, because of the heavy bleedings, it may fall down or it may be problematic for insertion of IUDs. Okay. So first IUDs developed in 1920. In 1920, the scientists introduced the IUDs, that is intrauterine devices. From this time till now, it is very much popular. So first times discovered by Grafenberg as the Grafenberg rings. As I said, it's basically used for it is basically used for conceptions or act as a contraceptive devices. So you may know the what is contraceptions or contraceptics. So basically conceptions is a process by which temporary or permanent loss of capacity to produce or conceives a young one. Basically for prevention of birth. It is known, or it is also known as birth control device, right? As it is used as a contraceptive devices, or it is specially designed for uterus only. So before we start some types of this IUDs devices, we have to know the anatomy of uterus. So let's start the anatomy of uterus. Basically female reproductive systems, it is included with vulva, vagina, uterus, fallopian tubes and ovary. So IUDs are placed basically in uterus. So let's see the structures, main structures of uterus. As you can see the female reproductive systems in your in the slides. So basically you can see the uterus, it is a triangular shaped, and ovary. Beside this the uterus there are two ovary are present, and there is some opening in the anterior part or upper part. There is a fallopian tube opening, and the lowermost parts, it is a vaginal opening. Uterus mainly a pear-shaped thick-walled muscular organ suspended in an interior part of pelvic cavity, as you can see in these pictures. It is almost 7.5 centimeter in length, 5 centimeter in breadth, and the thickness is nearly 2.5 centimeter, and its weights almost 30 to 40 grams. Basically fallopian tubes enters its upper portions, one of each sides, and the lower portions of the uterus projects into the vagina. So uterine cavity is normally triangular shaped and flatters anterior posteriorly. Basically anterior posteriorly. It consists of fundus body, cervix. Fundus body and the cervix. As you can see in these pictures, it consists of three layers such as endometriums, that is the innermost layer, myometrium, that the binding layers, and the peritoneums, that is the outermost layer. So basically there are three layers in the uterus. Let's see elaborately, that is endometriums. Endometrium is the innermost layer. It is mucus like membranes. It consists of epithelial lining and connective tissue, and it's further subdivided into sternum functionalis and stratum basilis. Stratum functionalis and stratum basilis. This is the subdivisions of endometrium's layer. Endometrium itself is a mucus. It's almost like a mucus membrane, right? And it's also consists of epithelial lining and connective tissue. Then this endometrium is subdivided. Basically this endometrium consists of another two layers, that is stratum basilis and stratum functionalis. So let's see what is stratum functionalis. It is the innermost layers of endometriums. It's locked up during the menstruations and grows its new during each cycle from stratum basilis. Okay. The superficial stratum functionalis proliferates in response to estrogens and becomes secretory in response to progesterone, and it's shed during menstruations and regenerates from the cells in the stratum basilis layer. So stratum basilis layers. So what is stratum basilis? It consists of permanent stromal tissue and dips into uterine glands. And the next, that is the myometriums. So it is the thick muscular middle layers of uterus made up of bundles of intracted smooth muscle fibers embedded in the connective tissue. Basically, it is the smooth muscular shaped structures or thick muscular middle layer of uterus. So, the cell of these layers undergoes hypertrophy and hyperplasia during pregnancy and preparation to expel the fetus at birth. During the birth periods, these layers may help for expel the fetus at birth. Okay. Basically, deep stratum bacillus changes a little throughout the menstrual cycles and it is not shed at menstruations. And the last one, that is the peritoneums. Peritoneum is the outermost layer or outer layer of uterus. Peritoneum covers the external surface of the uterus. Basically, it covers the external surface of uterus, which is attached to the both sides of the pelvic cavity by broad ligaments through which the uterine arteries crosses. Okay, basically it is the outermost layers and it works for protections of uterus. When we see the histology of uterus, you can see these structures, that is the uterine wall structure, and it consists of endometriums and myometriums, also peritoneums. So basically, in case of endometrium, it is a thick layers. You can see in these pictures, it is the thick layers compared to myometrium, and it also consists of lots of things compared to the myometriums. Myometriums are simple structures and it is almost clear, but endometrium is consist of some particulated matters. It's look like a particulated matters, but it includes with the blood vessels, stratum bacillus and stratum functionalis and also glanded stomata. So basically stratum functionalis cyclically proliferates, shed during menstrual cycles, and endometrial glands, which is also presence in endometriums. Endometriums glands, columnar non-ciliated and non-ciliated secretory cells, and myometrium, that is the innermost layers of uterus. It consists of a smooth muscles. It is myometrium that is consist of smooth muscles, fibrous contract to expel the uterines, contract to the expels of uterine contents. So that's all for today. Hope you will understand this topic. In next video, we will discuss about the advantages and disadvantages of IUDs. So thank you for watching.